dingy, 2 ringy dingies, 3 ringy dingies. Ah, there he is. Hey, everybody. Welcome to 420 Live. I am your host, Jeff Kravitz. I was just looking down to make sure my mic was on. It's always something here at 420 Live, as my faithful viewers know. I want to welcome you to show 101. Yesterday was our 100th episode since we started going live on March 16th. In 124 days, we knocked out 100 hours, 100 days of coming to you live and distracting you from the different stuff in your life that's been taking your attention. Like if you're watching the news, if you're playing along at home with the drama that's happening, you can see what's happening in our world. We're just totally falling apart at the seams. I read there's a vaccine, and the next day, half the people in the vaccine got sick, and then there's another vaccine, and then they're doing this and they're doing that, and there's all this hope out there, and people are grasping at straws, and you're watching the whole thing. It's kind of like it's kind of our new sport, since we don't really have sports right now. 70 some NFL players tested positive for COVID today, and a bunch of NBA players, and this whole thing is pretty ugly. But if you're wearing a mask and you're out there like I am wearing a mask, I don't have to be asked. How many times you headed out the house without the mask and have to turn around and go back and get it because you know it's going to happen, or not out of the house. Here in LA, we step out of the car and you go to get it. Anyway, today I started a huge controversy on my Facebook by trying to define the word Antifa. And, I've gotten in quite a few arguments already today about what it is. And, I'm confused, I'm not confused. I understand, but a lot of people are confused as to what these words mean. So I suggest going up on the old Google and typing in different words. Today, I tried Antifa, followed by communism, followed by Karl Marx. And each of those Wikipedia entries in the first paragraph, when you read them, is pretty much where our society is now, with everything kind of blowing up in our face because of the way it's been run, with 1% having all the money and the power. So the bourgeois versus the proletariat. There you go. So all you bougie folks out there, you know who you are. That's not a compliment, by the way, when somebody calls you bougie, FYI. I've never been termed bougie, but what the hell? If the shoe fits, proletariat would be the working class. I don't know if I'm working class. I'm zero working class now. I'm the unemployed class, which is a growing class in our country. Anyway, today, to distract, because my job is not here. I'm not here to analyze. I'm a photographer. I've been taking pictures for Getty Images for years, for decades. For over 3 decades, I've been running around with my camera since I was a wee lad. And, and I went to high school, and they said, here's a camera and a roll of film, and then you go out and shoot. You take the film back and you process it. And I got addicted to the moment and capturing the moment. So our guest today is Jared Polin. We're going to bring him in here any minute. He is waiting patiently, flashing himself to me on the little monitor here. But I met Jared. You met Nick Perry a couple weeks ago from the band Silver Tide. And when I met those guys through my buddy Ed Abrams in Philadelphia, or in Jersey, my old guitar player in my band Crossfire. I think everybody in high school has a band called Crossfire growing up. So my band Crossfire, we had Ed Abrams on lead guitar, and Ed was an incredible guitarist. And, throughout, he'd hit me up when different people were coming out. And he's like, hey, these guys are coming out. Actually, through my brother, Greg. They're coming out. And I took Nick to 40 Deuce, and that's where we met. I met Jared Polin also through the Silver Tide guys. He was their photographer, working with them on the East Coast. And then when they hit the Hollywood time, they'd be like, Kravitz, come out to the studio. And I'd be like, all right. So we were double teaming them. And I did his show. I would say it's been, oh my God, it has to be 5 or 6 years ago. We did like an hour YouTube podcast. Jared has taken over YouTube. His reviews of cameras, the way he's applied himself to the medium and made it his own, are truly inspiring. And he has over 1 million people that check out his reviews. And as a guy, I'm not much of a gear guy, but when I want any gear advice, I'm like, yo, Jared, what do I do about X, Y, Z? And that's Fro knows photo and Fro knows all. So everybody, I want you to meet my friend, Jared Polin. Fro knows photo.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no problem. I know you say you look to me for some gear stuff, but you don't shoot raw. There's you lose out right there.
All right. Well, everybody should understand that Jared's mantra is I shoot raw. He has a whole line of shirts, which you can get on his web. Do you have any left?
We are sold out. We sold out. We sold like 1,500 of them when I blew them out because not to say what I was going to do is say like a band does. I'm outsourcing my shipping department finally after 10 years of selling them all myself to a company that handles band merch. They do the printing, the fulfillment, they take their cut. They take all of the guesswork out of it for me so that I can focus on just creating and promoting the shirts, and I don't have to take my editor off of editing to go ship the shirts anymore.
Yeah, I saw your shipment the other day. You had like 1,000 envelopes in your studio all over the floor. It was crazy.
We had a lot of orders, and I had to reorder. The whole point was to blow out of the shirts and sell them for $11.99, which is what I sold them for on June 15th, 2010, when I first launched my first shirt. And we just left it open, and if I run out of large XL and 2Xs, and so I reordered just to fulfill the orders and get them out into the world.
And then you're gonna have a fulfillment company handle your merch.
Yeah, they do all the merch. They do it for they do it for Panic at the Disco. They do it for a bunch of other people. I can't.
How long has there been a Fro?
Since 2000 and end of 2007, 2008. I went on tour with Perry Farrell in September, October of 2007, and I buzzed my head before I left for that, and that was the beginning of letting it grow.
Oh, after that, it all came in. As a kid, was it like that?
No, as a kid, my mom always took me to get a haircut every couple months, every month or two, because I had Jewish hair and it would become curly and unruly, and so it never grew past 4 months. It would never grow. Like we never did. I never let it go, and then it just got to the point where it was like, I wanted to see what's going to happen, and that's what happened.
That's what happened. So my hair maintenance is probably about 30 seconds of my day. I don't think yours is quite that quick.
I roll out of bed. Honestly, I do it I can do it once a week if I want, and then just poof it up, and it stays fresh and clean.
Well, it's a great look, and obviously you've made it your own and made it part of your business.
Yeah.
So it's obviously working.
Yeah.
Did you ever think about cutting it?
Nope. No, I haven't thought about. I mean, you think about from time to time, like, could I cut this? But it actually looks really good, in my opinion, when it's down, when it's curly and all Jewy curls.
Yeah, when you have what is it, the Jerry curl?
Yeah, well, in my case, they're Jewish curls. So it's like I get the ringlets, and I love the curls. I think it looks really cool. It's either froed or curly, and I don't care. I just leave it the way it is.
Well, it's amazing to have, I haven't had hair in so long. I forgot what it was even like to make it a part of my makeup now. Now I'm just like, okay, I need to shave. I need to cut it down. So it's been really easy for me for the pandemic. I just shave it up. I love the hair conversation. So Philadelphia, you born and raised there?
Yeah, Bucks County, which is out about 30 miles or 40 minutes outside of the city.
And then you picked up a camera when you were a young teen?
13 years old, decided to pick up a camera, and basically why I picked up a camera, I was in junior high school. I was at a basketball game. I saw the yearbook photographers taking pictures during warm-ups, and I'm like, I wouldn't be taking those. I wouldn't have taken a picture right at that time. I don't think they're doing anything right. So I basically I borrowed my mom's point and shoot Fuji Discovery 1000 camera, and I got a roll of black and white film, and I sat on the baseline for another game, and I started shooting, and you can tell from the images that the moments were being captured. It was like, yes, it's a fully automatic camera, but the hardest thing for me to teach anybody is when to take a picture. I can teach anybody how to get out of auto, how to, use shutter speed, aperture, ISO all day long, but if you don't know the decisive moment, or you just don't have a feel for when to press that button, even then, that was a delayed camera. You would press the button of a point and shoot, it still had to focus, then it would shoot. So I was able to, from a very early on, just capture the right moment.
When did you start processing your own film?
Well, that was high school. So 10th grade. So I had photography. I chose to take photography against the better judgments of the, what are those people called? Guidance counselors. And they're like, well, if you don't take a language, you're not going to get into college and shit. And I'm like, I don't want to learn a language. I have no desire. So I took photography. The beginner photography course was amazing. Learned how to develop and print and
Make photograms.
Oh yeah, photograms and solar
contact sheets.
Yeah, well, contact sheets are still are great. I mean, it's like the easiest thing to do.
Yes, the easiest part of photography is making a contact sheet, putting your paper in and closing it. I haven't been in the lab so long, I forget what stop bath smells like, and I used to be covered in that stuff.
Yeah, I loved the black and white dark room, especially in college. Just going into the dark room, I would bring like this old laptop that had like a gigabyte of storage and have music on it, and then turn the screen off and connect it to shitty speakers. This is like what, 2000, so around 99, 2000, and it's just like we didn't have iPods yet. So,
well, when did they stop using labs? Because when I went back to my college, that lab's all printing room now.
Well,
it had to be a couple years after that, like 7 or 8 years.
It's actually a matter of a couple of years, because Antonelli Institute, where I went, still did the black and white darkroom for fundamentals. The first year students, they were a 2-year school, and they taught them how to do the processing. And I mean, it's extremely important that you learn the darkroom. I mean, it's not going to happen anymore, but you can understand what goes into the darkroom when you use Lightroom now on a computer. It's very similar, except for it's all digital. I mean, dodging and burning, like you used to put your hand over the, like, here we go.
The hand, or making little holes to burn, like that, you know.
Yeah, or using tools. I just remember getting yelled at by my teachers for having blown out areas, because I would always use a 4 filter or a 4.5 filter. What these things are called, contrast filters.
Yeah, the contrast filters.
And so for anybody out there that doesn't know what it is, when you have nothing in there, it's very gray. It's like 18% gray. Now, if you want to be more contrasty, you go up in numbers from 1, 2, like 3, 4, 5. It's super contrast. Your blacks are going to be black. Your whites are going to be super white. You're going to have blown out areas. If you want to go the other way and get it super flat and shitty looking and go gray and terrible, then then you go the opposite direction. I always started with a 3.5 or 4 filter. And that still carries on to my style of editing today, even in Lightroom, just because I want to, that's my style. And the teachers one teacher in particular would look at me like, you blew out the sky. I'm like, but look at the subject's face. It's exposed perfectly. Am I allowed to curse on your show?
Yeah, of course. We're not on television.
Well, I curse anyway, but I just want to get asked first.
Well, it's very interesting. That's what I see now. You know, when I was talking to you about this when I was trying to see if I wanted to get a new camera system, which I was going to get a new camera system, but now I was like, maybe I should sell all my camera gear.
Yeah.
But just that when I use my phone, all the zones are perfect. You know, I could have something in the sun, I could have something in the shade. It exposes for everything. And when I use my camera, I have to bracket, and then you're supposed to put it in Lightroom and find, you know.
Well, you don't shoot RAW for one, but onto the phone point, yeah, absolutely. The phones have taken on computational photography. So basically what's happening is when you take a picture, it's already taken 10, you know, and it's taking 10 at different exposures, and it's mushing them all together and then giving you a high dynamic rate, an HDR image basically. But it's taking so much information from what's there that's our cameras don't do that yet. Our mirrorless cameras aren't there. But the technology is going to be incorporated probably by Sony first onto their sensors. And you're going to start seeing that when they get to a point where you can take one picture, but when you take that one picture, like 10 different exposures are being done with a full frame thing. Imagine what that's going to allow us to do dynamic range-wise for getting amazing colors and contrasts. And the sky is going to be perfectly exposed with the dark areas. And that's the future is computational photography, and the technology will continue to advance.
Yeah, I really think that that's, I mean, I keep waiting for that. I keep waiting for the camera that I pick up and it's as good as my phone. Well, hey, look.
Blah, blah, blah.
Sorry, I don't want to sit there.
I know how you like to shoot. I've seen what you guys do out on the red carpet.
Well, and that's kind of the thing. My friend Patrick Jordan, you brought it up a little bit there. Patrick Jordan, the RAW versus JPEG debate. And, for us at Getty, our software isn't built to accept RAW, and it would just take too long to process the software that the editors use.
Sure.
So on the computational and also what we're shooting, if what I was shooting was I was thinking that this is going to be some amazing piece of art one day, or I need to have, but my exposures are within a half a stop most of the time. They might need a little adjustment here and there, but usually I pull in. I'm pretty close, so it's not like I have a huge range. I mean, if I could look at it, I used to be able to look at a shot and tell you what the exposure should be.
Oh yeah, I love that game. That's one of my favorite games. Is I play 3 shots or less on my website. We did a whole series on that. But I like walking into a situation and guessing the exposure and seeing how close I get the first time.
Of course, it's so many times I look at it, set the camera, take the first shot, and I'm like, oh, that was good. So I'm not even really thinking about it. You're just setting it all up, setting how your ISO would be in that situation.
Well, nowadays it's even easier for mirrorless cameras because when you look through the viewfinder, you are seeing the exposure already there. So if it's overexposed, you just dial it down.
Right.
But you still need to have that understanding, the fundamental understanding of the basics of photography. Look, the RAW versus JPEG debate is over. We know that RAW won already. And then the people that shoot JPEG, that's perfectly fine. I don't give a shit. They shoot JPEG. It's like, do I care about Kim Kardashian's photo walking down the street? Like, is that something that's going to live forever?
I listen, our photography is lining bird cages and wrapping fish the next day. So that's what they use my pictures for. It's in a magazine. What do you need? You need something for the bird cage? Here. You got to wrap up that fish to go. Here you go. Wrap it up in a nice magazine and hand it to you. So I understand that it's disposable information that people look at it, they read it, and they already want to see the next picture of Kim Kardashian. It's already what have you done for me lately?
Yeah, it's still I remember calling you back in my days of not. After I met Ed and trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, though I still haven't figured that out, calling you in LA and being like, can I have a job or something? And then you told me what you do. And I'm like, that's not me. Like, that doesn't work for me. I'm not saying that doesn't work for you, because clearly it works for you, but that wasn't what I personally wanted to do. I didn't want to go around taking photos of celebrity types that way. I found
right. Well, when we talk, the entry level way is that you're working the carpet. You're going to these events. You're outside the events. People are being set up for you. Take the shot and then you go home. And that there is a great deal, or there used to be a great economy that the guys would get as red carpet photographers. Yeah. I was lucky enough to be able to get some access over the years to kind of make it a little bit more palatable, having to deal with these types. If I had to do that constantly, I stepped back from the carpet and the red carpet many years ago and just take all the big cherry events like the Oscar red carpet credential. These all have value because there's a limited amount of photographers. The Oscar photographers used to have 3 different positions on the carpet. Then it was knocked down to 2 positions. And this year was 1 position with 25 photographers. It went from 75 photographers to 25. And now that space is all taken up with bloggers and people with their cell phones. And,
TikTokers.
The way information travels has changed. It's no longer the way it was when cameras were made and when photography was before photography was digital. Information travels differently.
Yeah, I mean, you said disposable, and this is disposable content. Some of it. You look at sports teams, which aren't playing now, but every sports team has that intern that goes down to the glass on the hockey rink and is like making an Insta story during the whole game. Like, that's their thing, which is fine. But there is something that still separates a photograph from a snapshot. And I'm always seeking the photograph. I'm not a snapshot fan. That's not to say I don't take my cell phone out to take a picture of something, but well,
I don't think it really matters your medium at a certain point. If you understand photography and you know what makes a great shot and you go in there and you have the elements right. I mean, I was talking about this the other day. I was kind of blown away when Instagram first came out and all these really cool filters came. I never saw people do that to their photography before. And I was like, what the hell? How these people all become such cool photographers all of a sudden with all this game? And it was like, once I figured it out, I was like, oh, okay. This is
find the angles, do something interesting, and people, follow suit.
I mean, do you really think like our cameras, people aren't even taking cameras out, that whole business? You think there's going to be a Nikon and a Canon after this pandemic's over? Nikon and Canon, they're holding on by a thread as it is. Don't you think?
I mean, I think Canon and Sony stick around a long time. Nikon, I love Nikon, even though I switched off of Nikon. It's like, I don't know. I think they can still pull through somehow. I
don't know who's buying this stuff now. I mean, don't you think the market segment? I know you have a lot of people watch your reviews, but who's actually stepping up and buying all this different product?
I mean, there's a lot of photographers. There's a lot of people who want to capture images better than what a cell phone can give you. They see what a cell phone can give you, but you're capturing something with a sensor that is that big. And so you're relying on the computational photography aspect to get the bokeh to blow out the background. People want to know what it's like to have a quote unquote real camera and capture better images of little Johnny running around the baseball field or soccer field.
And once you're schlepping 25 pounds of gear all over the world to make your perfect pictures, and you realize you can kind of get those same moments on your cell phone. Like when I travel, I might have a camera, but I'm going 90% of the places with my cell phone. And if there's someplace special I'm going, like Sagrada Familia, or in the Bryce Canyon or something like that, then you're going to take a camera in there because there's going to be something special to shoot. But generally, just to go out and take pictures of sunsets and architecture and shit, I'm just like,
that bores me. But when I went to Paris, you could take your cell phone, but I say to people, how many times are you going to go to these places? Like when people are going on these once in a lifetime trips, they're like, oh, I'll just use a basic camera, blah, blah, blah. And then they come home and their pictures suck and they wonder why their pictures suck. And I'm like, well, one, you don't know what you're doing. So there's that. But two, like sometimes the learning and getting educated about the gear you're using is very beneficial. So
either way, you know what? I think memories, the way we collected memories has changed too, and the way we save them. I mean, our whole world is kind of upside down. So where it used to be important, and truthfully, even if with a camera, you could go buy a book on any one of those tourist sites, shot by an amazing photographer that really knows what they're doing, and take that home as your memento. I mean, it's nice to think that you're going to go in there and do it. It's fun. It's a great hobby. I'm not taking anything away from photography. I mean, you've made a hell of a cottage industry out of it. So you found your niche, right? You were like, where do I go? How did you find your niche?
Well, I started making YouTube videos because of the same reason why I started taking pictures. Is I saw somebody, one of the reasons is I saw somebody post a video that I totally disagreed with. It had 36,000 views on it. And I'm like, if this person can do this, there's no reason why I can't share what I think I can share, because I think they're giving bad information. And so because of that, I can do this. Instead of telling them that they sucked in the comments, put your money where your mouth is. I had a camera, a D3S, that let me do 5 minutes of 720 video. I started shooting video. I got a microphone real soon to start getting good audio. And I started just putting shit out into the world. Now, my hope was that I would get more jobs, that people would see my stuff and hire me. And that didn't happen. What happened is people started asking me questions, and every question that came in and every comment that came in, I answered. I made another video about it because it was easy content. Oh, how do I do X? All right, let me make a video about how to do X. And then I would post it and title it and keyword, and that's 2010. And so it was a different YouTube world then. And a lot of evolution has happened in 10 years of me being on YouTube. And there's been a lot of people that have come and gone while trying to keep up or challenge what I've done. There's people that have blown past me as well. Very few, but the ones that do, it still pisses me off. But that's the nature of the beast. There's always going to be somebody bigger and better that comes along and resonates with somebody. That's just how it is.
So what percent are you in the top 10% of content creators on YouTube? I mean, do you know that?
At one point, like in the early days, I was in the top 2,000.
Wow.
Those metrics aren't really visible anymore. I mean, I could probably Google it. I'm definitely not. I may be in the top. I mean, do you think it would be 1%, 2%? I mean, if I'm in the top 10,000 out of how many channels are there?
Oh my God.
I'm definitely in the top 3, 5% or better. I mean, I got 1.2 million subscribers, and there's people that have a lot more subscribers, and that's fine. I got 200 some million views. So that's good. Some people have 200 million views on one video though. But so it's always a competition. You're always like, oh shit, I have 1.2 million subscribers. Well, Mr. Beast is adding like 1 million subscribers a month, and it's just, you're really like, what am I doing wrong? But yeah.
Well, I mean, you learned to work the beast before. Now there's all these tutorials that teach you how to work YouTube. I mean,
There's
it's
no tutorial. You don't need a tutorial to work fucking YouTube. Like, I'm tired of seeing people posting videos, not videos, trying to sell people on the secrets to being a YouTube star. There's no fucking secrets. Make a video about something that people are searching for, be good at it, put it out into the world, and don't quit after 3 videos.
Yeah, you have to keep creating content.
People are quit. They're like, man, I didn't get any subscribers in the first week, blah, blah. Like, you can't make a video that says my day at the park. Nobody is searching for that. If you want to get into the photo world of making videos, what do? Something popular comes out, you make a video about it. You put it out there with that Canon EOS R5, my thoughts, whatever. Does it suck? Put it out there and people will start to find it. You just got to keep doing it. Like, you want to get into cars. All right, start talking about cars, but also know that you can't just talky. That's not 2010 anymore. You got to do something different. And I don't think that it's impossible to break out on YouTube today. I still think you are because there are people that fully break out every single month. You know, it's like they start, something pops, and now you got TikTok. People are popping on TikTok.
Are you doing TikTok?
No, I'm actively seeking another editor for my team that can focus on specific type of smaller social content so that I can seed out, take my old videos that are chock full of solid information. We used to do this with Instagram, putting out what we call micro content. And it's just that I need a dedicated person that knows photography so that they can go through the content and know what's going to be good for the most part, or go pull a video and be like, here's the videos. Do you think these are good topics? And then they can go edit it into these 30-second to 3-minute clips. And then we can start seeding them out into the world and seeing. I don't want to do the TikTok stuff, but I don't know, man. My demographic has never been in the lower age demographic, but TikTok is more than dancing. It's another powerful platform.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see. I mean, Snapchat was the powerful platform, and then Instagram stole everything from them. And then you don't hear about people using Snapchat.
No, it's not the same thing like it was. It came on like a force, but then Instagram did everything they did, and Facebook bought Instagram, and
Facebook bought Instagram before they started copying Snapchat.
Right.
Facebook bought them when it was, $1 billion, and everybody was like, holy shit, $1 billion. Now it's worth like, I don't know, 40 billion if they were to split it.
It's crazy. So you came onto YouTube. You're like, okay, this is my medium. How long did it take before it started working for you?
So working is a relative term, because it'd be like, did I get 500 views on a video? Did I get 1,000 views on a video?
Well, when did you start making money with it? How long did it take?
Not terribly too long, but when I first started, there was no monetization on YouTube. There was no YouTube partner program. That happened. I remember where I was sitting, Adam Reaver, is that his name, from FU Tone, the guitar tone thing?
Right.
I was sitting in his basement, and then I got an email a couple days before that said I was denied for the partnership when they first started it. I emailed them back. I emailed an email that came in from Google, and I'm like, no, I disagree. And I did. I emailed someone, and then miraculously I got an email, and I got accepted into the partnership. So then I started not making a ton of money because there were no pre-roll ads, and I didn't force people to watch them or whatever back then. I just did overlays. But I made a thing with Alan's camera. That was my local camera store where I used to work.
That's where I bought my first camera.
Right. And so, okay, I didn't know that, or maybe I did. Maybe we talked about it. But what was interesting is, so when Alan would buy Canon gear and Nikon gear, the companies would give you money for advertising. So for every $3 you spend on gear, they will give you $1 towards ads. So they could spend them in magazines and newspapers, but they couldn't spend it online. This is 2010. They didn't do it. So a lot of times that money that was sitting there, Alan didn't take the time to use it, and it would just go away. So he goes, if you can get Canon to agree to do ads online, which why would you put it? Why would you spend $10,000 on an ad in a newspaper that's not even targeted towards anybody when I'm making videos targeted towards photographers? Anyway, I did the legwork. I got them Canon to change their rules, and then we split the money. So I was able to make like $24,000 in the first year just from that little deal to promote Alan's camera.
And how did he see the increase in his business?
Oh yeah. Because I would just sit there and be like, give Alan's camera a call and tell him the fro sent you. Ask for the fro price. Was there a fro price? No, it was just a way that they could track it. And then Alan would kick in something like, oh, you need a filter or you need a lens cloth. He would take care of them. I mean, there was a time that, I'm a big proponent of 2.8 lenses, and there was a Sigma was discontinuing their 70 to 200 2.8 non-IS. This was like an $899 lens that was going to sell for like, I don't know. Alan's like, they're offering me 100 units at a stupid price. Or maybe it was $1,200 and then they sold for $899. He's like, should I get them all? I'm like, yeah. And then I went in and I lined up all the boxes and made goalposts out of them. And then I made a video behind it like, holy shit, there's 100 lenses here. Now's the time to buy this lens because it gets you into a 2.8 better than your kit pieces of shit. And he sold all 100 of them. And, so that's 2010, 2011. It absolutely worked.
Yeah, well, you're like you said, your target marketing, which is why this all works, because everybody's hitting the people that are interested in what they are. We have an amazing way to access the algorithm now to figure out who's watching and what they're into. And everybody that's watching you is into photography.
Yeah.
So it's kind of built in. Talk about a little bit about your work as a photographer. I know you were on the Bernie Saunders campaign. How did that go?
Well, I wasn't officially on the campaign. I was invited out to join as a photographer, but not for them officially. So it was on my own dime that I was out there, but it was for my own type of project. But yeah, one of the things is people don't, they question my photography because all they've seen are YouTube videos, and they don't realize that I was shooting well before I started making YouTube videos. But this was so go back to the first picture. Like this is, I didn't meet Bernie yet. Right? So we fly out to Iowa to join the campaign for 2 days, Steven and I, so he can film me because we're making a mini documentary about it. I don't get introduced to him yet. He literally walks past me. I just start shooting. He's aware that I'm going to be there because I already let him know and he approved that. And like, I have free reign to do what I need to do. Just don't make eye contact. If you make eye contact, then he knows that you're shooting. And it was the best thing was just don't make eye contact. Don't make eye contact. So you have to know as a photographer when to leave somebody alone and when not to. And he ended up closing the door because we were hanging around, but I got to do what I got to do to get the shot. Like this shot is so like the way that the wall draws you into him, it doesn't get much more perfect than that.
Yeah. And you got these lines. Are those shadows or what is that part of the wall?
No, that's actually the wall to the bathroom. I was tucked in there, and they're tiles. And I'm not saying that I did it on purpose. I put the composition on purpose, and my lines are very straight to begin with. For whatever reason, I'm able to judge lines very well. But what's cool is with all of the shoots that I do with the Sonys and the Nikons is I have a recorder on top of my camera that's plugged into the video out of the camera because they're electronic viewfinders, and I can record exactly what I'm looking at, and people can now see, and I can teach them because they see exactly what I see. And so that's the coolest thing about photography these days is that I take people inside of my camera.
Right. So they're seeing a continual video feed of it while you're shooting.
And they'll see it when I take a picture.
Right.
They see the shutter. Well, they don't see the shutter, but they see a blackout for like a split second. And with the Nikons, what's cool is you can see all of the focusing points and you can see all of the data on the screen, not with the Sonys the way that I shoot it. But go ahead. You can keep going through. It's just so good having all access and trust. And I never met them. But the greatest thing was when the deputy campaign manager called me and was put in touch, like we were put in touch. I'm like, do you need me to do like 5 minutes on who I am? He's like, nope, I watch your videos. He's like, so do you want to come out on the road with us? Pitch us an idea. So I pitched them an idea. They're like, all right. And I paid my way. So I own all the rights to everything. I own all the rights to it.
And you let them use some stuff for what they needed or?
Nope, you can't. They have to pay for it if they want it. That's just campaign finance rules.
Oh, gotcha.
This stuff will get used at some point. It didn't get used at that point because we didn't have actually a deal, which I'm like, guys, you can use them. Pay me $1. And then you can use them. But it's kind of disappointing because I was, I had bigger aspirations. I toured with bands. I did the photography of professional sports. I find the political thing interesting. I mean, I find anything interesting where I can do photo stories because my thing is all about photo stories. I love telling the stories through images, not just one image, but the entire story that people can go through. And the funny thing about this whole thing to talk about gear is I was using a Sony A7R4. It was the first time I ever used the camera, was on this shoot. It just landed on my doorstep 2 days before we went on the trip, and I decided to do it because I couldn't decide, should I take my Nikons or my Sonys? But the Sony gave me exactly what I wanted because of the IAF and all this stuff. Anyway, what questions do you have?
Well, I'm just looking at the stuff. I mean, that's a really big thing for us photographers out there, is that you totally changed and left all the Japanese behind. Well, not all the Japanese, but you left the two big camera manufacturers, Nikon and Canon, behind to go with Sony. What was your decision on it, and what was it about the Sony that's so different?
Well, the easiest, look, I shot Nikon since, well, my first real camera was a Nikon N90S. Deciding to go on this trip, Nikon has what's called a Z7, which is a fantastic camera, but the autofocus it's too slow for me to move the focusing points with my thumb. Sony has been developing lock-on tracking and IAF for years. When Sony first came out with their first A7, it was a piece of shit. When they came out with their A7 II, it was a piece of shit. But what they kept doing is iterating and evolving the technology where they pushed it forward. They were the first to really dive into full-frame mirrorless cameras. And I was anti-mirrorless cameras for a long time until I wasn't. My reasoning for taking the Sony to this trip was that I knew that the IAF worked really well. And for those who don't know what that is, it means that I can look through the viewfinder and the autofocusing point finds the eye.
Yeah, it knows what your eye is looking at.
Well, no, it doesn't. It doesn't use my eye at all. It basically looks at where my. Go ahead. What?
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
It looks at my focusing points because I can still move them. But if my focusing point is in the vicinity of somebody's face, the subject that I want, the box goes onto their eye or their face if they're at a distance, and it stays on them, which means that I can focus on composition now because I don't crop my images, but I can compose so much better. And what I tell people is that I am capturing images that I otherwise would have missed with the other cameras, and I'm not missing out on shots because of the technology here. Like occasionally it will miss focus, very rarely, but the shots that I miss aren't outweighed by how many good keepers I get where I wouldn't have gotten them if I didn't have it. Like the senator coming from behind a curtain. I pre-focus on the curtain, but as soon as it opens up and he moves it and the focus finds his eye, or I'm walking backwards and all I have to do is just focus on composition because it locks on him, it's the right tool for the job. And so that's why I had to switch. I still think Nikon's files are better at the end of the day, but the camera that allowed me to capture the best images possible was the Sony, and is the Sony right now. So
now when I shot the white balance, I shot both cameras. I shot my Nikon and my Sony at an event, and the editors were like, "You got to pick one because the white balance is too different between the two cameras, so your content's coming out."
Well, sure, they're different, or you could just lock your white balance in and do that. I see. Just obviously, one of the benefits of what I do is, when I was on the road with Bernie, he had a photographer out there that is meant to take pictures and get them out to their campaign super duper quick. So many times transferring from the camera to the phone and editing in Lightroom on the phone, the JPEG, and then sending it. I don't like working like that. I'm not there to do the cookie cutter, throw it out type stuff. I'm not saying what he was doing was cookie cutter stuff. I'm saying that my goal isn't to do snapshots. My goal is to capture moments, and then I can process them at the end of the day. Like, that's fine. I don't have to rush to process them because it's about the story. That's the difference between news photography and what I'm doing.
Right. You're setting up a whole thing, and that brings me into the project I saw on your site, the 6 degrees.
Yeah.
So it basically, the 6 degrees of separation is kind of the theme here. You meet one person and they introduce you to someone else. Is that the way it works?
Absolutely. Yeah. And what people find so fascinating about it is that they're like, "Oh, who have you photographed? Who'd they send you to?" And that's what they love. Like, what you're looking at right now is a full 6 degrees that I went through. And you can see that there's those portraits. Well, the first one I did of Steve Weatherford, I didn't do that portrait. It wasn't even a thing. So it's now a thing with every one of my shoots, because if you click on photo stories, you'll see that it continues with a couple of more subjects. Oh, there's right there. Yeah, no, don't click on that. You just scroll down.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You can just scroll down. I didn't realize that right there. But you can see that I continue now with all of these portraits. And so that's not another degree right there, because sometimes they don't connect you, or for whatever reason.
You mean down here you're talking about?
Yeah, those are basically individual. Actually, Douglas Kirkland sent me to his son Mark Kirkland to photograph. Ryan Holiday sent me to Coach Raveling to photograph, and then it's like trying to get to the next person after that. It just takes some pushing, but I love Days in the Life of, and the coolest thing about it is that these people give me all access to their life. Because I remember thinking about paparazzis, and I'm not a fan of paparazzis, and I'm sure you're not a fan of the ones that chase people around trying to get the stuff. You're more on the inside because people give you access.
Yeah, but you know what? It's all part. One thing I've realized, because I used to be like, they're evil and paparazzis are bad. And the one thing I realized in life is that's not necessarily the case. There's a need for all of it, and a lot of times paparazzis are called by the talent themselves. Sure. So it's an opportunist thing, and everybody wants to keep their name and face in the press all the time, especially nowadays.
Well, and my whole thing that I always said is I will find a way. If I don't have access, I will find a way to get the access, and I'll go the other route. If somebody doesn't want their picture taken, I'm not going to take it, type of thing. But what's great is like Lewis Howes is like, oh, I know Jason Flom, the founder of Lava Records and Atlantic, and he worked at Atlantic. Great guy, Innocence Project stuff. And so I called Jason because Lewis is like, you need to talk to this guy. So I don't have to go through any gatekeepers because Lewis is his friend, says you need to do this to Jason. Jason's like, okay. So I talked to Jason. He's like, I love it. He's like, meet me in New Orleans. I'm going to be doing a thing down there. So I fly to New Orleans. It's all on my own dime because it's my personal project, but It's led to so many things. It's like the connections that you make for this stuff is what it's all about.
Yeah.
And I get great stories. So Jason sends me out to this young artist, and then she sends me to this guy, Stefan Macchio, who sends me over to Charlie Walk, and so on and so forth.
And let's look. I went through Charlie Walks, and it's such a great job here. Charlie's a record executive, and he's also in what is it, American Singer, or what's the name of the show?
No, he was on The Four. There was a whole thing.
Oh right. Oh yeah, that's right.
There was out there for
a little bit of controversy, right?
Yeah, and I think it was cleared up. I don't really know what happened, but the first picture that you went past was super interesting because a lot of the times, the first time that I meet these people is when I show up to do the shoot. Like this, I walk into the room and he's having his makeup done. I'm like, shit. And look at this photo.
Yeah.
He's going on the show. He's having his makeup done for the show, for TV. But it's just like, he's looking at me. You've got an assistant on the right hand or a producer on the right hand side talking to him. You have one person on the left doing the one makeup. You have the other person on the right. It's just one of those compositions that just worked.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this, I mean, your composition is amazing. And so it's interesting because you talked about how you don't crop, but then I heard you say, I saw one thing where you said that a crop is a second opportunity to get the picture. What did you say?
I would never say that.
You never say that?
Never say that. That's somebody else. What I say is, no. So what I say about the reason I don't crop, and it goes back to the dark room in school, is in high school, I would raise the enlarger to zoom in on the guy sliding into second base. And what happened is I'm like, why does this picture look so terrible? And the teacher's like, as you raise the enlarger, the grain gets larger.
Yes.
We didn't have noise yet because that wasn't digital. And so the grain gets larger and your picture sucks. So get closer, fill the frame. And so nowadays I do have the ability to crop if I wanted to because I have so many pixels. I choose not to. And the reason I personally choose not to is I do not want to second guess every photo that I take. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but you're looking at aren't you editing every picture you take anyway? And then you have to adjust the levels and everything else. I mean, the crop's just part of that.
For me, it's not. It's the same thing that I did in the dark room. I had to up my contrast. I had to change. In this case, you change white balance. For me, it's my personal choice. I have to tweak the raw file. That's just like processing a negative. I have to do the same exact thing. I just choose not to crop. Personal choice. And then I almost got beat up for this next shot. Security's like, "Who are you?" And then they're like, "Because
which one? That one there."
Yeah, that one there. That's at the Hollywood Hotel or
Beverly Hills
Hotel.
Yeah,
which was funny. I got a great story. I'm waiting. He puts me in the polo club to have lunch by myself, right? I have lunch. He says, charge it to the room. I charge it to his room. So then I'm done lunch. I'm like sitting out in the lobby area waiting for people. It's like Adam Levine walks by. And then you got, he comes up to, Charlie comes up. He's like, you know who that is? I'm like, no, who's that? He's like, it's Calvin Klein. And then I'm sitting there and I see this guy walk by. He doesn't see me though. It was Stevie Wonder. He kept like they were Stevie Wonder was there, and I was like, that's Stevie Wonder. But I don't get wowed by celebrity, so it's like I don't run up to. So that's like bad form, especially if you're in that hotel and you're going up to.
Yeah,
someone
you don't want
like,
to be
I'm
in
a
the
big
Beverly
fan.
Hills hotel running up to celebs asking for selfies and stuff.
Absolutely not. So then when I was with you're not even allowed to take pictures in the building. I got whatever. Charlie had me. I did it anyway. Ask for forgiveness, not permission on that.
Yes,
but
that's
then
my motto.
When we were walking to the car to get in the car to go to the taping, the security was almost grabbing. They almost grabbed me because I guess it's illegal. Like there's ordinances where you can't just come up their driveway. It's private property. I'm there with permission though. So I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm in LA. And they're like, no, he's with us.
He's okay. He's with us. He's not a paparazzi.
And this was when I literally took 2 kits with me. I took a Nikon kit and I took the Sony A9 kit because they just sent it to me and I needed to do some silent stuff. It was the first time I could shoot silent and capture full raw images. Before you couldn't shoot because your cameras were never silent. Even the silent modes aren't silent. But nowadays you could just shoot in complete silence and not make any noise.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I love access. I love angles. I love being able to capture the moment, and just being in the room,
Yeah, I mean, this stuff's great. I mean, showing like the whole day in a life in the gym, having lunch.
That was the lunch one's cool because that's that little diner thing down there at the Beverly Hotel.
Beverly Hills Hotel.
I wasn't really allowed to do this, but I did it anyway.
Yeah, trust me, I get it. This is on the back lot.
Yeah. I just like being there. I like being there. And that's why the Bernie stuff was tremendous because you are in such a situation that it's like, wow. It's like being with a band except a politician. And you just have access to things that others don't get to see. And I love having access to the inside to see
that's what it's all about. It was the same thing when I came here and they're like, stand outside. And I was like, why can't I go in?
Yeah.
Let me in. How do you decide which to make black and white and what to make color?
It's just what is yelling at you at that particular time. Certain images just have a feel, and it's harder today because you look at it, you're like, well, I like the color, and then you come back the next day, you're like, but I like the black and white. You just certain images get a more classic look to me in black and white, and it's not something that you shoot for, in my opinion. You don't shoot like. We don't have to do that. Like we used to shoot rolls of film. You shoot black and white. It's coming out black and white no matter what.
Right.
But in this case, it's like just certain images just have the feel, especially in lower light situations. It's like, you know what? The color is so muted or dead anyway that black and white, you can pump the contrast. You can do more things. And a lot of my images do come out in black and white.
What have you been shooting? Anything lately?
No, man. With this whole lockdown, it's like, no, I didn't do riots. I didn't do protests, which turned into riots.
Well, there were riots, yes.
I didn't do that. One, because I didn't want to put myself in harm's way of COVID, to be honest with you, was part of it. It's not, and I did go down the street to test one lens locally when there was a little thing in Fishtown. And for me, I love taking pictures. Like I love getting into the photo taking stuff. That's what I care about. You hear these people yelling on one side, you see the cops on the other side. I'm there to document. I'm not there to pick a side at that particular moment. I'm there to do a photojournalistic job. I haven't shot much, but we've got a lot of new cameras coming out, so I have to start finding things to photograph safely. I really wish, we all wish that it wasn't like this, but this is what it is. So I would like to get the 6 degrees to start going more, but that's not safe really. So people aren't doing stuff. So, when you got to wait. We got to wait.
Yes. All right. Well, we got a couple questions. Let's see. What wide lens is the Fro using for that day in the life stuff?
Most of that is 14 to 24 is a wide angle, but Sony just came out with a 12 to 24 2.8, which I'm going to be cranking away with quite a bit because it's 12 to 24. That extra 2 millimeters, does it give you a lot? It doesn't give you a ton, but it gives you a different look. And for me, when shooting wide angle, it's imperative that you fill the frame. You get closer. Even if the subject is there, they don't want to be this big, but you can get close when shooting wide. And it just makes an image so impressive because there's so much detail around the image, especially when it's in somebody's home or it's in a very interesting environment, there's a lot of story to be told from those images.
What project did you pitch to Bernie's campaign?
It was basically, hey guys, you know my 6 degrees where I spend the day in the life of? I need all access. I'm coming. So basically 6 degrees, it's always just been me going out and photographing because it's easier and it's more intimate that I don't have a film person with me. In this case, I'm like, Steven's going to come on the road with me. I paid for it through my business, of course. Like I took care of it. It's important to say that because we weren't getting paid for it. It was an investment, I thought, and it was a worthwhile investment. And oh, don't make me read that yet. I'm
sorry. That came up by mistake.
Yes, get your stuff right. So I just pitched him like Steven will come out on the road, film video while I'm shooting, and we'll make a video out of it. And the funny thing is, the first video we made out of it was a review of the A7R4 because I'm like, Steven, we have all this footage. I use this camera it doesn't get any more real than this. And of course, the video will get hate because it was Bernie, and so you have the anti-people. But it's not. I didn't say anything political in the video, and I don't say anything political in the video. It's about photography, and I'm there to do a job. And so, that's what I pitched them. Let us out on the road, and they did. And then I ended up like going out a few more times. I'm like, can I come out again? And they're like, sure. Meet us in L.A. I met them in L.A. You and I go to dinner at some French restaurant that just opened that was really good.
It was really good. It's a delicious meal. They don't have a patio, so they can't open back up.
Oh my God, that French bread with that butter.
Yeah,
that's a really good meal, man. And it wasn't terribly too expensive because we weren't drinking.
So someone misses Raw Talk. Are you still doing the Raw Talk?
No. Pretty much stopped doing Raw Talk almost 2 years ago. There was a dedicated following. There is a dedicated following for people with Raw Talk. The truth of the matter is, it took a lot of time to do Raw Talk, right? It took Steven and Dan and Todd. So that's 4 people taking a full day to do work. And we got a live box, which made it much easier to edit and switch. It still took time, and it's an hour-long video. And honestly, did I freeze? Or
no, you're good.
Oh, and honestly, I am more freer with how I speak on the podcast, which then gives people the wrong impression sometimes of what I'm saying. So it's like a way to censor myself a little bit is to not be so raw during Raw Talk. I don't have a problem offending people, but that's just the way it was. But we also transitioned to do Photo News Fix, and to put that into perspective, Raw Talk would get like 26 to 30,000 views, roughly, maybe. Photo News Fixed, we average over 100,000 views now, and it still takes Dan a full day to edit, and I shoot it and write the script myself, but it's a really good consumable piece of content.
Is that one day a month? Is that
every week?
Every week?
Release those on Wednesdays. I try to film them on Tuesdays. Dan spends like 8 to 10 hours editing, pulling video clips for it, and then it's been like a 9-minute thing, but our target is like 5 to 7 minutes, and the analytics are very good because people watch for 70%. Like they watch the entire thing. If they start it, they finish it.
Right. Well, 5 to 7 minutes. I mean, the thing about our world now is the attention spans are so short. So anything long form, hard to get people to tuck in.
True, but when I put out the preview of the Canon R5 and R6, the preview video was 23 minutes and we had a 40% watch through rate. So people watched for almost 10 minutes. And so if you can engage people with quality content that they just continue to watch, and a lot of that is a testament to my editors who keep it moving. There's no downtime. Like they edit me, like not in a bad way, but it's like they'll take out pauses and it speeds it up. So it can be, you don't give people a chance to get tired of it to leave.
Yeah. Well, you're a master. You figured out a whole way for yourself, and you cut an original path. And you've inspired people, and you're helping people make their buying decisions and turning people onto the newest technology. So you're checking all the boxes to make people's lives better. So it's not like you're trying to steer people in the wrong direction, and people have come to trust your word and what you say. And to build that trust with your audience is really important.
Yeah, and I forgot where I was going with that. The money thing, people. I remember before I started Frono's Photo, I was super against sharing information because I wasn't getting jobs. And I thought people would then get the jobs that I wanted to get if I gave them the information. And then when Frono's Photo comes around, I pull a 180. I'm like, I'm just going to give all this shit away because what people don't have is they aren't me and I'm not them. And this was at a time when everybody was charging for access to websites to give content. They were like selling a continuity program. And I'm like, I'm going to give it away for free. Look at YouTube. There's a billion people watching this. It's free access. And then you can make money from that. I sell products. I sell t-shirts. I sell educational guides. I sell presets. I get sponsors and advertisers, but the content is still free. And I sell 4 different video guides. They're $67 to $150. And you make a living. I make more than a living now. I'm able to support 2 full-time employees with healthcare. I'm able to have the factory here. I was able to buy a loft in 2012. I was able to just buy a new house and rent the loft. It's like, I'm very happy that I'm in the situation I'm in. Yes, it was a lot of freaking hard work over the years. And some people, you shouldn't say all the things about making money and stuff, but I love sharing the business. I love showing people what really happens. This is how you make money. This is how much we've made. Like, it's possible. So yeah. I'm an open book with it.
And thank you from everybody that's learned from your information and the way you've shared your information. We all appreciate your input, and thanks for coming on today and talk with us. I know you were like, your fans want to hear from me, and I was like, literally, I had people hitting me up. They're like, wait, you promised us the fro. Where's the fro? And I was like, okay, I got him pulled up. Because people are interested. I'm a photographer, and a lot of my friends are photographers too. So it's a natural thing. And we all love photography if we're not photographers at all. And we're all buying all these products. So it's really good to understand, where our money should go. So thank you for coming on. Is there any charities or anything you're involved with? Or
well, the funny thing is, I released a 10-year anniversary shirt, which was a stealth I Shoot Raw shirt, which is a black I Shoot Raw shirt with black printing on it. And then what happened is, like 3 days after I launched that and sold 300 of them, the protests started, and I'm like, I don't feel comfortable selling this shirt this way anymore. And I changed it to a charity shirt and decided, because when I was in New Orleans photographing Jason Flom at the Innocence Project, that I was going to sell the shirts to raise money for the Innocence Project of New Orleans, because it's super important that there's wrongfully convicted people that have been in jail that shouldn't be there, and they help get them exonerated. And so we raised $11,000. It was $10,000 and change, and then I upped it to $11,000, and we donated $11,000 from selling T-shirts to that cause.
Well, good shit. Thank you, Jared. I appreciate your time today. Thanks for coming on 420 Live. It was great to have you and catch up with you.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Check it out. You guys know Fro knows photo. Thanks. See you soon.
Yep.
There you go. Jared Polin, ladies and gentlemen. That was a full conversation for all. I saw my photographer friends out there hanging in. So thank you guys for tuning in. I just a couple notes. Yesterday we had Jeff Asher on from Asher's Chocolates, another Philadelphia company, another Philadelphia original. Can you tell? Like, everything in my life is kind of centered on the East Coast. It's kind of interesting. All my friends, all my contacts. So Asher's, you get 20% off 420 Live. If you spend $75, you get the discount and you get the new 420 Live bar, which I couldn't be prouder than to have my own candy bar. I mean, that is just the best thing ever. So thank you to Asher's. Solo Pipe. Jared's not a smoker, so no solo pipe for Jared, but I'll make sure he gets a chocolate bar. And headcount.org. Make sure you register to vote. As you know, yesterday I showed a bunch of photographs of me with people, a lot of famous people and stuff like that. And today I'm going to sign off. I want to say peace, love, and happiness to everybody and give you a hug. But as I leave, I'm going to sign out for the next 15 minutes. I'm going to run this video of all my friends shouting out and saying hi to me. So I'm just going to let this go. Thank you all. We'll see you tomorrow. Next week, I am planning a super big week. Michael DeBar on Monday. On Wednesday, maybe Gray Boy All-Stars. Thursday, John the Baba from the Disco Biscuits. And Nicole Atkins is going to be on the next week too. So we're here working hard for you at 420 Live. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I appreciate you. Here is the video. It'll take a second here, and I'll start it up. All right. Sorry, that was a brain fart. I have to share the screen so you'll get the audio. So it would be Chrome tab, VidHug, share audio. Here we go. Boom. There it is. Now this will work. All right. Try this one more.
Hey, Jeff. Pandemic Tom here, badly in need of some grooming. Wishing you from the Osiris family congratulations on 100 shows. And while I don't want to rain on anyone's parade, because 100 shows is nothing to sneeze at, we're not allowed to sneeze actually anyway right now. But I think since quarantine started, I've been watching 100 shows a night. So let's not get too worked up. But in all seriousness, congratulations from the bottom of my heart, Jeff. That's quite an achievement. And we're glad to have you here on the Osiris Network. And I want to say greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey, to everyone on the West Coast, from the East Coast, and stay safe.
What's up there, Kravitz? Sending all the love right back to you, brother. Thank you for, being a light and bringing some positivity and some knowledge, all the interviews you did over these past few months, watched a great many of them, and loved it, man. Very entertaining, made me laugh, made me think. So kudos to you, bro. Keep doing it. Thank you.
Greetings from New Hyde Park. Ooh, while someone's parking. And in matches, it's very 420. The red car pulling up with the red hat and the red shirt. That's what happens at 420. And a red sign. Look at all that. A red sign in the background. Jeffrey, love you. Happy 420. Sorry, not everything in this. And there's another red car. I wish the 420 was red, not green, but we prefer the green.
This is Ben down in New Orleans with the Preservation Hall. Jeff, you are an extraordinary person. And what you've been doing these last 4 months or so has helped us. It's given us something to look forward to. And I want to say from my heart how much I appreciate you and 420 Live. Keep it up, brother. Keep your head up.
Hey everyone, Dan Canner here from Toronto, Canada. Jeff, congratulations on your 100th show. I loved being a guest on your show and I really enjoyed watching it. I miss you and I love you and your family very much. And so this has been a great way to see you every day. I could chat about all things music and life with you for hours. So it's been awesome to see you do that with so many cool people. So keep it going. Congratulations. And I hope I see you and your fam real soon. Love you very much. Bye.
Hey, Jeff. Congratulations on your 100th episode. Thanks again for the entertainment during quarantine.
Hi, Jeff. As you can see, I popped down to your studio today, but you're not around. Anyway, happy anniversary. Congratulations. It's 100th show. It's my 90th, I think. I still need to do some catching up. See you around. Bye-bye.
How you doing, Corn Poke? Hey, Max Caulfield here. Hopefully a slightly better video quality than the last time we spoke, Jeffrey. 100 today, my God, as an excuse to hoist an early beverage. So here's looking at you, brother, and here's to many, many more. Well done keeping those creative juices flowing. I'm going back to the yard work as soon as I down this puppy.
Hey, this is Leon. Wishing my main man on the West Coast a happy 100. You heard me? I say 100. Keeping it hood. That's right. 100 shows to Jeff 420 Kravitz, my man. Yo, 100 more to go, baby. Keep doing your thing.
Happy 100.
Hey, Jeff. Joel from Humphreys McGee here. All right, buddy. Congrats on 100 shows. We never really thought you would be able to accomplish 100 of anything. So the fact that you did that, well done, my friend. Appreciate you having me on. Appreciate you having Humphreys McGee on. And I think your dad, Pinky, would be proud. So keep it up, my man. Always good to see you. Much love. Congrats again. Here's to another 100.
Jeff Kravitz, perhaps the greatest talk show host since Johnny Carson. Congratulations on 100 episodes of 420 Live. Pinky would be incredibly proud of you. Way to go, Kravitz. We love you, man.
Happy 100, Kravitz. You look really good for your age. Oh.
Hi, Jeff. Congratulations on your 100th show. Pretty awesome. You seem to be having a good time doing it, which is great. Thanks for having me on. I enjoyed doing it, and keep it going. Maybe I'll get to 200.
Hello, Jeff. Just wanted to send you a quick hug, a digital hug, and say congrats on 100 episodes of 420 Live. Thank you for having me as a guest. I had a fantastic time. Love what you're doing. You're the best. Keep it up. Health, love, and safety to you and yours. And keep rocking, my friend. Peace.
Hey, Jeff. Congratulations on the 100th episode of 420 Live. I was super proud to be a part of it. When we covered our segment on the drive-in with Spafford, wishing you the best of luck. I know things are a little strange during these times, but seems like you're figuring it out in a way to thrive and keep entertainment alive. So keep doing what you're doing, brother. Love you, man.
Jeff Kravitz, happy 100th episode. Couldn't be happier for you. You've been a bright spot in these strange times. It's been so great to look forward to seeing your show, seeing your guests, lighting up with you. It's been fun, so thank you for being there. Thank you for having me on the show. That was a real treat. It was an honor, actually. And I can't wait to see you again at a show in person. We'll hug it out. We'll hold hands. We'll drink some beers and see some live music, damn it. But until then, congratulations. Happy 100th, and I'll see you soon.
Jeff Kravitz reaches 100 episodes. You got another 40 years before you're going to reach 100. But hopefully by then you will have amassed thousands and thousands of episodes. You're doing a great job on the show. Really happy to be part of 420 Live, and really thrilled that you're a friend and you're kicking some ass. Congratulations.
Hey, Jeff Gordon here from Philadelphia. Thanks for having me on your show. I've really enjoyed watching it. It's filled some great times, saw some great people. What a great job, Jeffrey. Who knew? I guess it's from your lineage, of course. Much love to you, brother. Much love to everybody. Bye.
Jeff, happy 100th episode. Your 420 Live has been one of the sweethearts of quarantine. So much fun, amazing guests. You're adorable. Thanks. Thanks for showing us how awesome this time can be and getting creative. And thank you for having me on the Bonnaroo episode. That was quite an honor with all of those boys. And I'm glad I made you proud. And I love you. It's this thing you've been doing has just made me love you more. And you're going to get the biggest hug from me when I see you again. Mwah. Congratulations. 100. Whoa.
Hey, Jeff. What's going on? It's RJ from Osiris. I want to say, first of all, congratulations on making it to 100 episodes. It's been incredible to watch what you've done. The hardest working man on the internet. We love it. We love it. We love your show. So proud to have you as part of the Osiris family. I've enjoyed the interviews I've watched so much. Your style is engaging and casual and really knowledgeable. And you're one of the best out there. So thank you so much, and keep doing it. And again, thanks for being part of the Osiris family. I can't wait to come back for my next appearance on 420 Live. Congratulations.
Hey, Jeff, Marcus Rezak here. Just wanted to congratulate you on your 100th show. And I had a blast being on your 420 Live program with you. And looking forward to seeing you again in the future. Congratulations on everything. Much love to you. Take care.
Hey, Jeff, I want to wish you congratulations on your 100th show. Been great following you along on your new project, and it's been an honor to be a part of your giveaways, and it's been a great help to me in my business. And I want to just say keep up the good work and move forward.
Jeffrey, it's been a pleasure to get to know you over the last few months. I'm surprised we haven't crossed paths earlier in life. But congrats on this 100th episode. Exciting stuff. I've enjoyed coming on twice now, smoking with you, getting you hooked on the Skittles and the runts, and just becoming friends. You're an honest man of high integrity, and I've enjoyed becoming friends with you, and thanks for having me on, and congrats on all the success. Take it easy, bro.
Krav. Oh my God, you fucking did it, Krav. You did it. Now 320 more to go, and it's going to be the big fucking anniversary. You keep doing you. I'll keep doing me. I'll keep watching. Everybody keep watching. Share this fucking video. All right. Love you, bro.
Hey, this is Dan Matthews from PETA wishing Jeff Kravitz a happy 100th episode for 420 Live. It was a blast being a guest on the show. It's a terrific program, and I look forward to doing it again. All the best.
Kravitz, you were the last person I saw before going into quarantine at Tame Impala at the Forum. And since going into quarantine, you're the person I've seen the most, other than, you know, my husband. It's been real, dude. I mean, thank you for everything that you've done for keeping our little community together. We love you for it. You're the best.
What's up, everybody? This is Graham Farrar with Glasshouse Farms. Just want to give a big shout out to Jeff Kravitz and his awesome 420 show. 100 episodes is amazing. Jeff always has been and still is the man. Appreciate him getting out here and showing the world what cannabis is all about. So keep it up, Jeff. You're the man. You guys are all the men and the women's for watching him. So keep on keeping on. Talk to you soon.
Yo, Jeff, congrats on 100 shows. Impressive. And thanks for doing what you're doing and creating a cathartic opportunity for our community. Keep it going, man. All right.
Jeff Kravitz, congratulations on your 100th episode of 420. We are all grateful that you found something to keep yourself busy with during these rough times. It's been great for all of us, actually. And I appreciate it. It was great being on your show. I hope to be on again. And keep up the great work, brother.
Hey, Jeff. Greetings from Marin County. Congratulations on your 100th episode of 420 Live. You've been keeping us all going. And hopefully you don't have to do 1,000 of these. But it's looking that way. We live in a nation of morons. We're fucked. So thanks again for helping out. Sparking one up for you, man. Happy 420. Happy 100th.
Jeff and 420 Live, congratulations. 100 episodes in. That is huge. Fantastic work so far. And thank you so much for letting Solo Pipe be a part of it. Looking forward to many, many, many more shows. All right. Congrats, guys.
Happy 100 shows, Kravitz. We love you so much.
Congrats.
Jeff, what can I say? I'm thrilled to have been part of your early phase of the extravaganza 420 that you've made it into. I know it's going to go great places, and it is so cool to see you so social, like on the interweb. And where it's going to go, I don't know. I'm staying tuned, and I'm seeing my friend having lots of great times with other friends and talking about very cool things. So keep it going, my friend. Jeff, you rock. Happy 420 every day of the week. Bye.
Happy 100th show, Kravitz! Very proud of you, Kravitz. This has been a tremendous ride to share with you. Really proud and excited for you. I'm glad we could share a hug for your 100.
Thank you for all you've done. This has made quarantine so much better and happier, and you've put a lot of work into this, and we appreciate it, and we love you. And you are the future of entertainment. We love you.
Buddy.
Thank you.
Bring in the hug.
From the Bontourage.
Perfect.
Hi, Kravitz. Congratulations on your 100th show of 420 Live. You're doing a great job. Love watching it. Had a lot of fun being on it. And keep up the great work. Cheers, man.
I'm sorry, it's his 420th show? Oh, how did he do 420 shows in such a short period of time? Oh, it's not his 400. It's his 100th show. The show is called 420 Live. Okay, I got it then. Hey, everybody. I'm here to say, what a guy. What a job. Jeff Kravitz. 100 shows on 420 Live. My friend, thank you for having us on. The fact that I finally made it to where I could get on the same show that Tommy Chong was on, not bad. Not a bad accomplishment. Kravitz, you're doing a great job out there, keeping everybody busy, giving us content. As always, can't wait to see you, though, standing tall above the crowd, camera in hand, back out at a concert. Love you, man.
Jeff Kravitz, you son of a gun. What I just found in my basement. First time we worked together. Newspaper, concert photography, fish. What's not to love? And over the years, man, you always delivered. Late night, Bonnaroo Beacon, shots of the main stage. Whenever I needed, you were always there for me. Except that Radiohead year when it was your birthday and you were tweaking out and I saw you up front at the Word and you promised me those shots would be there any minute now. And 4 hours later, 5 a.m. arrived and they weren't, but I'm pretty sure you thought I was a figment of your imagination. I might have been between you and me. At any rate, sir, always a treat to enjoy a lovely 420 moment with you. Congratulations.
Hey, Kravitz. Happy 100th show. That's pretty remarkable. Thank you so much for entertaining us, keeping us going during this craziness. I'm out here on my deck where I Kravitz most nights. Yes, you have become a verb during this pandemic. I Kravitz. My wife walks out and says, oh, I forgot he's Kravitzing now. And that's right. I Kravitz every night with you and a host of plenty, your remarkable network of friends. It's always so wonderful to do that. Who knew the photographer who would become a friend would become a verb and would keep us all together? Thank you for doing all that you are doing during this craziness. Yes, we may be going to hell in a bucket, but at least we're enjoying the ride. Thanks for all you do. Congratulations. And I can't wait to hug you for real. Yeah!
What's up, Jeffrey Kravitz, the man, bro? Your 100th show. Holy cows. Taking them lemons from COVID, turning into lemonade, making a stand, turning a profit. That's what you do, Jeff. I love you, brother. I'm stoked for you, man. Stoked for your family. I'm stoked for me because I get to watch you. Looking forward to seeing you do another 100 shows, bro. Really cool, man. I'm proud of you. Congratulations, brother. Love you, Jeff. Tell everyone we said hello. Congrats, bro. Give you 100 more, brother.
That was that is absolutely incredible. I haven't watched it yet, so that was the first time I've seen it, and I just want to thank everybody who participated. I know I tried to get a hold of everybody. I fucked up the emails, but it was so great to just sit there and listen. And Ike Richmond with the Kravitz as a verb is one of the funniest things I've ever heard. There are some great lines. I love boyfriends. I love you all, and I will thank you. You can see I'm already changed into my hooker clothes. I'm going to go. I got a little work to do tonight. I'm hooking. So thanks, everybody, for being here, for being a part of this experiment, and for riding this out with us. This is, we're not going anywhere yet. Although I'd like to go somewhere. Anywhere. Take me anywhere. Anyway, have a great day. We'll talk to you. We'll see you all tomorrow. Same bad time. Same bad channel.